What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're back again with another Elestrals Divine Champions Firestorm reveal with a new spider archetype in Arachne's Lair. Let's see what's going on here.
It's finally time for me to reveal one of the core pieces of my favorite Firestorm deck. Spiders, baby. Let's dive in.
You've said like every type of deck is your favorite deck. Make up your mind, dude.
The brand new Divine Goddess of the Hearth, Hestia, is coming in big fashion in Firestorm as a feature in our double starter decks, as well as a ton of champions of Hestia. And I want to remind you guys that future sets are going to continue to support our incredible Divines like Hestia and Hermes, but we've got a handful of new cards that Hestia is really going to enjoy today in this reveal, and you guys are going to love as well, so show some love. Make sure you guys get your pre-orders in. We've got incredible pre-order bonuses. Stellar Exaltair Champion of Hermes for every 50 you spend at shopelestrals.com, or you can get the exclusive Stellar Empirix Champion of Hestia available exclusively at your local game store, so make sure you guys hook it up there and get those pre-orders in. Yesterday was an incredible day. We talked about a bunch of brand new Champion of Hermes. I'm a big fan of those, but like I said, this is my favorite deck in Firestorm. I'm not saying it's the best deck, but it is very, very fun, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. So let's kick this off. We're going to talk about the first card today, which is none other than Hestia's signature counter rune, Hestia's Hearth. I love this artwork, by the way.
Aw, the Ursa looks like it's dumb and it's sick or it's upset. Enchant fire from your underworld to a card on your field, and if you cast this Hestia of if that card was Hestia or a champion of Hestia, you may enchant an additional fire from your underworld to it. Okay, so if you enchant a fire onto the field and it happens to be a champion of, which if you're playing one of these decks like this, you're probably going to be champion of or Hestia herself, you get two, which could be an interesting way to turbo into a 3-cost. Say you have the Ursa champion of Hestia on the field, you put that on you play this card, you put one on it, then you put another, you're able to put a second one, you're able to then say, well, I'm going to turbo that into a 3-cost Majursa immediately. So I guess this is a way to turbo into the Majursa champion of Hestia 3-cost, because we don't have a 2-cost bear, and I don't understand why we don't have a 2-cost bear in either fire or frost.
But this is a 1-cost counter rune for Hestia that says you can enchant a fire spirit from your underworld to a card on your field. So it basically pays for itself, right? You have the flexibility of being able to enchant anything in your field with a simple fire spirit. Then, if that card was Hestia or a champion of Hestia, then you may enchant an additional fire from your underworld to it. Man, oh man, I tell you what, the gears are turning on this one, as you can refill your Hestia and get more special casts. You can use this to enchant your existing champions of Hestia to set up for Ascensions. You can use this on fire receivers like Cinder, Magma, or Ash Rabbit to be able to activate their effects in additional time.
Cinder would be a fun one just to have, because you get to make a mill not once but twice in a turn.
There are a lot of implications for this card in the future, and it actually pairs incredibly well with a card I'm going to be revealing today. But again, when I mentioned that future support for Hestia and for Hermes, there's opportunities where this card is going to shine in the future as new.
I'm just going to say set 5, 6, 7, and 8 had to be just so difficult to go out there and build and figure out how you're going to do things, because clearly Hestia is going to get help and get new champions in set 6, 7, and 8 as well, since obviously this is the Divine Champions we're in. And then you're going to see that same thing with Hermes, whatever we get for all the other new champions as they're coming in. Just interesting to see how this is all going to work out and how many reprints and how many champions we're getting for each, because there's not going to be 9, 10, no, there's going to be 16 Divines when this is all done and over with. I'm pretty sure. We're not just going to sit there and do Hestia and Hermes and not give you 6 more new Divines. There's going to be 16 Divines overall. How many of these guys are going to have champions? And I don't think we're going to see, obviously Hestia and Hermes, Zeus and Poseidon are probably going to have the most support and most champions because they're in this set. Whereas we're not going to see champions for, say, the new Divines outside of this, because they don't want to spoil all of those new champions coming, all those new Divines coming later on in other sets.
New receivers get added to the game, but we'll start off small here in Firestorm with some really cool stuff. This card I'm very big fan of, and it doesn't require Hestia to be on the field. It just works better if Hestia or champions of Hestia are the beneficiary of these particular effects. So some really awesome stuff. I'm super stoked.
I think their special codes like this should have to require the Divine being on the field. Like Hermes Trickery yesterday has to have Hermes on the field. I think Hestia should have to be on the field on this, even though this is not as busted, I think, as the Trickery card is.
Stoked about it. Hestia's Hearth is coming. One other fun application for Hestia's Hearth is that you can enchant your Hestia to power up your Majursa. And we've got a brand new alternate art for Majursa in the booster box. This is the full art Majursa Champion of Hestia. I love this art, by the way, of Hestia riding Majursa and the 3 little fire bears hanging out with her on the top of this mountainside. What a beautiful painting by the Elite Four. This card is gorgeous. One thing I do want to mention is I've been reading your feedback about us doing box toppers of various Elestrals and then doing alt arts of them as well in the main set. And I did see some feedback saying that you guys would prefer that not be the case. I have heard the feedback. I will take it into consideration. Obviously, we've already planned out future sets, but we can make some adjustments.
Yeah, set 4, 5, 6, and 7 are going to have this. This is kind of stupid. This really is. It takes up a slot. You could have a full art of a different Elestral. You should not. There's no reason to go, oh, well, we want to give people a chance who don't get, like, say they get one box topper, one box, and say they get the Volt Tempest box topper. They get a chance to get all the other ones. No, let's not do that. That is very stupid.
And do some really cool stuff there. So I have heard your feedback, but I hope you guys are still excited for the incredible alt art full arts of Majursa and many others coming in Firestorm. This is our best array of full arts yet.
I honestly think like things like that he should take into consideration and actually put it out there to us to ask what the community would think about that, what we would think about if we had a box topper have an alt art full art in this set. Because honestly, yeah, you could have like the champions in future Shouted Stars have that full art alt art for that set instead of having it here if you wanted to do that.
And I'm super excited for you guys to get your hands on them because they are a true treat to pull. All right, now it's time for us to reveal some brand new champions of Hestia. And like I said, my favorite deck in Firestorm, the Spiders. I'd like to introduce you to Warmite, champion of Hestia.
Okay. When this Warmite receives 1 or more fire, you can target an Elestral and give it -3 attack until the next turn, which is its normal attack anyway. Except it's, with C. When a player casts Hestia Hearth, you can return up to 2 fire from your underworld to your spirit deck. Very, very interesting being able to pair that. But yeah, obviously Warmite's original effect is you get to choose an Elestral, drop its attack till the next turn. This one is obviously, if you play Hestia's Hearth, you can drop it -3 twice more. If you go, well, I'm going to play Warmite, I have it on the field, your big boss monster has, say, your Pantera has -3. Oh, I played Hestia's Heart. I put another one on it. That's another -3. And then I can put another one on it. So you're -9 on there. Am I going to be able to take you down with this Warmite? Absolutely not. But I was able to drop you in case I already had an Elestral on the field that is able to go up against a -9 Pantera, which is very far in the view. That would mean, obviously, you're a 4 attack, right? Or a 6 attack. You'd be a 6 attack still. Obviously, if I had, like, say, a Blazerus on the side of the field that you didn't get to take down with Pantera because I hit you with the Gorgon's Gaze the previous turn, I play this, drop you to 9, I'm a 7, you're a 6, I get to take you down. Boom.
This is legitimately one of my favorite cards in the set. This is a 3 attacker with 1 defense with 1 cost fire that says when this Warmite receives 1 or more fire spirit, you can target an Elestral and give it -3 attack until the next turn.
Obviously adding the Hestia's Heart, but imagine if you had this on the field, you did the Hestia's Heart, you got 2 extra on there, then you decided, well, you know what, I'm going to play Circle the Sky, take 1 from Hestia, put it on there, and make your opponent, that Elestral be -12. Then this Warmite could do some damage if you did that. If you did -2, obviously, well, that's just a lot.
So you have the opportunity when you cast this to drop the attack of something. So the 5 guys are getting obliterated by this because you're going to drop them down to 2. And of course, if you're able to Nexus or receive on your opponent's turn, maybe with a card like Hestia's Hearth, you can drop your opponent's attack stats significantly. So you're not it's not everything, but you're targeting one particular Elestral and dropping it by 3.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention the synergy with Hestia's Hearth. If you play Hestia's Hearth and enchant your Warmite, you're activating a -3 drop on an Elestral, and then Hestia's Hearth allows you to enchant the Warmite a second time, which means you get to drop another Elestral's attack by 3, or the same Elestral's attack by 6. That is massive, and this is a crazy combo. When a player casts Hestia's Hearth, you can return up to 2 fire from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. If you play Warmite, and then you play Hestia's Hearth,
this definitely feels like a late game card. This is not something you're going to play turn 2 or 3. This is like if you're in a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turn game and you're like low on spirits, this is definitely when you want to play Warmite Champion Hestia. If you have this in your hand for the first 2, 3 turns, you're not going to play it.
You are not only healing 2 from Warmite's effect, you are enchanting 2 spirits from your Underworld to Warmite, and you're dropping their attack by 6. Absolutely nuts. This card has one of the most insane battle tricks Elestrals have ever introduced. It is insanely powerful, the fact that you're healing off of Hestia's Hearth and you're able to drop attack stats. Opponents are going to be so scared to attack into Warmite Champion of Hestia because of the implications of this receive effect. Absolutely bonkers, and it's about to get even better.
Hold on. Like I said, also, like if you do the Hestia thing and then you do Circle of the Sky, or another way to Nexus, if you're able to Nexus and get more on there, you're dropping your opponent's Elestral's attack by even more. It's just, that's crazy.
This next card is the ascension to that Warmite. It is Floracne, Champion of Hestia.
You can disenchant fire from your Hestia to search your deck for an Arachne's Lair. Okay. And layer and add it to your hand. During your end phase, an opponent must expend spirits equal to the number of Elestrals on their field if Arachne's Lair is enchanted. Sounds like a stadium room.
Yeah, with a devastating effect. This has 5 attack and 7 defense, and it says that you can disenchant a fire spirit from your Hestia to search.
Let's be a question. Who played a Floracne like at all since base set? It was basically just summoning sickness for fire instead of thunder, but it was a 2 cost. Who was playing Floracne in the last 4 sets? Like, I don't think anybody at all.
Search your deck for an Arachne's Lair and add it to your hand, and I'll reveal Arachne's Lair shortly. During each end phase, that's your end phase and your opponent's end phase, an opponent must expend spirits equal to the number of Elestrals on their field if Arachne.
So this is like Necklace of Harmonia, except it works on both end phases instead of just the end phase. Just instead of my end phase, that if I have it connected to something.
Arachne's Lair is enchanted, so you have the immediate search into Arachne's Lair with this Floracne when paired with Hestia, and then you have the flexibility of burning your opponent every single turn, the end of your turn and the end of the opponent's turn, if they have Elestrals on the field, and you're burning them based on how many they have. This card can be really, really impactful in the late game. And don't forget, with Hestia, you have the flexibility of specialing something out and then ascending right into Floracne, disenchanting off a Hestia, grabbing Arachne's Lair, and you can activate this card effect combo right away. Absolutely massive. And there's some really cool implications with the combination of fire and wind that I think can be explored in this set. I can tell you, I tested a lot of this deck, and I love putting a bag of winds on this because it basically means you win the game at that point if you can pull all that off. But man, Floracne Champion of Hestia is going to add a new dimension to these particular decks and things that you can explore. And a big shout out to my man Shady Penguin for revealing the new Floracne early. Make sure you guys go check out his video. And there's a whole new archetype that you'll be able to explore in Firestorm with this next card, Arachne's Lair. Arachne's Lair is
when a player casts Warmite, Frostmite. I'm sorry. Mite, Floracne, Arachne, or Floracne, that player must draw a card. What? Okay, we don't know Kite Mite. We don't know half of these, so some of these must be coming in this set or later sets.
Is a brand new stadium card that has a simple but very effective effect. This is a 1-cost fire stadium that says when a player casts Warmite, Frostmite, Kitemite, Floracne, Polaracne, or Paracne.
You know, it's crazy that Fire got 2 new stadium runes, even though neither one of them do ++ or anything, and I don't see anything from Wind yet.
That player must draw a card. let me break down how the Spiders deck works. You slap your Arachne's lair down, and then you just funnel the field with your little spiders, your Frost Mites, your War Mites, your Kite Mites. You cast them out, and you're able to trade battle almost every turn because War Mite can drop attack, base set War Mite, or the brand new War Mite Champion of Hestia can pressure your opponents and drop their attacks, or your Frost Mite can deal with defense positional Elestrals, or your Kite Mite can do something I'm going to reveal in tomorrow's video. There's a lot of really cool implications for this deck archetype, and you're going to be...
I think you should have did the new Elestrals first today and then do this tomorrow. Just saying.
Drawing resources every time you cast one of your spiders, giving you infinite possibilities to stock up your counter rune row, to protect your spiders, and ultimately make a big push in the late to mid game. Very, very awesome stuff.
Obviously, Kite Mite and Arachne are going to be the wind nexuses of War Mite.
Man, I think this card is super fun. Like I said, it's one of my favorite decks to build personally. I don't know how well it's gonna do in a full metagame. I did pretty well in our testing, but this is a lot of fun, and I think it's gonna be a really fun deck for players to explore because it's so different. You're really gonna use stat modification with your War Mites, with your Frost Mites. You're gonna be able to put some pressure on there, get tremendous advantage every single turn, and then you obviously have some really cool implications if you wanted to go the route with Floracne and of course Hestia, or you can go the route of like Hestia's Hearth with your War Mite, get some receivers in there like Comagma for draw power or Ash Rabbit for resources. A lot of really cool things you can do with Arachne's Lair. I'm super excited about it, and if you're coming to Dallas, I'm going to be bringing my Arachne deck, so we're going to have a lot of fun there, and I can't wait to play against you guys with this deck because it's, like I said, it's one of my favorites. I love this deck. I legitimately cannot oversell the impact of War Mite plus Hestia's Hearth. What a crazy blowout card that is. So much advantage if you're able to generate those two cards together.
Yeah, Hestia's Hearth is going to be very interesting. The fact that you don't have to have Hestia on the field is, I wouldn't say broken, but it's definitely going to be very interesting, especially if you pair it with the War Mite Champion of Hestia, dropping your opponent by at least 2, by 6, then say, you know, oh, I did that, and let me get Nexusing, adding more to it. You can absolutely just drop a big boss monster. Say you go up against another Fire Celestial, and you got Trifono on the other side, and you drop that thing down by 6. It's a 14. That's already got it down. You go 9. That's going to make it a 3 attack. You go with another one somehow, and it's going to be down to 0. And you're going to be able to just take that thing out with a little War Mite over here.
Because of just the amount of power you're putting out, you're essentially effectively beating an 8 attacker with War Mite and Hestia's Hearth, and you're healing multiple spirits in the process. It can legitimately flip the game upside down, and that now leads the way to our next reverse stellar for the set. And I'm putting out a bounty right now. I want 3 of these bad boys real quick. War Mite, Champion of Hestia, coming.
That thing looks mean. That thing looks like it's ready to just absolutely destroy you. It looks so angry. Why has it got white fire? White fire. And that's War Mite. That's a different stellar too, because I have the Kickstarter one that didn't look like that. That's like War Mite for a space set is like green. Or yellowish green. This is white.
In Firestorm with a brand new stellar. This is the first time we're doing this. We're actually recoloring War Mite from base set for a new stellar.
Yeah.
I want to be clear that this is not specific to the Champion of Hestia War Mite, although that's an interesting route to go.
Yeah, and this one's got flames coming off of it.
I simply decided that I wanted to change War Mite Stellar. If I'm being honest, I had seen some sketches from one of my artists on a Floracne Stellar that we may be announcing very soon. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is really cool. We need to go back and change War Mite, because War Mite Stellar from base set wasn't nearly as cool as this one, in my opinion. This is like...
Yeah, War Mite Stellar from base set is just boring as can be. This one looks like it has fire coming off of it. It looks white and everything. I was like, okay. Yeah, War Mite, yeah. You just made, well, yeah, you recolored Stellar. That means War Mite Stellar actually becomes a lot more valuable now, because it's not going to be ever seen again this way.
Like legitimately one of my favorite Stellars now. I love this card so much. I hope you guys are as excited as I am, because War Mite Champion of Hestia is coming as a reverse Stellar in Firestorm. You can pull out of your starter decks, your booster boxes, your blister packs. Make sure you guys stock up, because you're going to want this one. Don't you dare miss out on our pre-order.
Well, that's one half of the spider deck, because we're going to see what's going on tomorrow with spiders, as we're going to find out what the Kite Mite and Pararachne, which are obviously the wind nexuses of War Mite and Floracne, which we'll see what they look like tomorrow. I'm sure they got some crazy ass abilities. I'm so glad that we're getting some new Elestrals, even though it is nexuses. I would like to see like some new like we did with the two dinosaurs 2 days ago or something. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. We will be back again for day 21. We've got 5 days left. I wonder what they're going to do for Dallas. Because, obviously, Dallas, are we going to have this go live at 9 a.m. or 11 a.m.? Because Dallas is going to be going live at 10 for the tournament starting. I don't know what they're going to do. But we'll see that on Saturday. Until then, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 21. Until then, my name is Franz, and I'll see you guys later.